Hi, and welcome everyone to my channel, Metal Elf Collectibles. I am your host, Metal Elf, Chad. And this is another installment of Metal Musings, interviews with people in the community, just really cool, interesting people. And tonight I am joined by Phable, one collection down. How you doing, Phable?
Chilling, man, chilling. Saturday night, hanging with my bro, feeling good.
Yeah, it's a good Saturday night, man. I'm glad we got to do this.
Oh yeah.
So I don't really have any format or anything. But since I've been around the PCP army for probably about a year now, I guess I'm interested in your origin story. How did you start collecting? How did you get on YouTube? That kind of stuff.
Um. Oh. I started collecting. Well, the way I got into comics, just generally, was because I had previous knowledge of a lot of these heroes. I couldn't tell you how I knew them, right, from a little kid. Like I knew who Spider Man was. I knew who Superman was. Batman. All the big ones.
Sure.
I kind of knew who they were. But I wasn't aware of what a comic book was until I was about maybe 8 years old. So we're talking about 88, somewhere around there. Um, I was in my grandmother's house one day, and she had a coffee table, right? And you remember TV Guide and People Magazine and stuff like that all over the table.
Oh,
And
sure.
sitting there in the coffee table was a copy of Uncanny X-Men number 212 and Uncanny X-Men number 213. Now, if you remember the covers of these comic books, one of them has Wolverine all bloodied up, all like cut up. This is like his first fight with Sabretooth. And I
Oh,
was
yeah.
like, what the hell is this? Like, what is this? So I was just immediately fascinated, grabbed it off the coffee table. And I wasn't a big reader, right? To be honest with you, I don't like books. I'm not an avid reader at all. But, I love art, right? So I'm just flipping through the pages of this thing and I'm like, what is this? Why don't I know about these things, right? Like, where does this come from? Like, but I was immediately like hooked to it. I wanted to know more. And so then I would just basically like anytime I went to my grandmother's house, I would just look at her coffee table and see what the hell she had there. Come to find out, that was like my aunt's comics that I
Hmm.
guess she picked up and read and just threw it on the coffee table. Like, oh, I read that issue. I'm all done. And tosses them there. So I would just grab them for myself. And then briefly after that, I ran into a cousin of mine who was like, how we have these family members that are like 10, 15 years older than us. They should be like our age,
Yeah.
but they're like super older than us. I had a cousin that was at least 10 or 15 years older than me. And come to find out, he was an avid comic book collector, like a huge one. So when I showed
Hmm.
him the little bit of comics that I stole from my grandmother's table, he was like, "Oh, dude, you should come to my house. You should check out what I got." So went to his house, and boy, man, that's where I got introduced to like so much, like X-Men, you know what I mean? Teen Titans, Conan the Barbarian. This guy was collecting, and he was like, "Dude, whatever you want, just grab it up, take it." And
Oh,
then
that's awesome.
I would just do it like that. So it wasn't really collecting. I was just hoarding, kind of like taking whatever was given to me, kind of deal. But then you start getting an allowance, right? So maybe I was about 10 years old, maybe 9, 10, I don't know, 11, somewhere around there. And my mom used to give me a few bucks, or whatever. And we had just moved to this neighborhood, and in this neighborhood was a comic book store.
Hmm.
And I remember the first time I passed by this comic book store, and I was like, "Oh, so this is where all of this shit comes from. This is where people buy this stuff." Because I couldn't find it, right? Like I didn't know where to get this stuff. And I begged my mother, please let me go inside this store or whatever. And she's excited. She wants to get me into reading, right? Because like I told you, I wasn't into books or anything like that. I'm not a big reader, but it was I guess in her mind, an opportunity to get me into that kind of thing, regardless if it was, you know, a bunch of pictures with words.
Yeah.
so 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 I picked up comics. Now I knew where the store was, had an allowance, and that's where I started collecting. Right, that's where I started picking stuff up. But back at that time, comic books were like, I don't know, 75 cents, right? So you can get a few comic books for a couple bucks, right? Like you can get a good little stack for like $5.
Yeah.
Um and so um I was doing that, and over time, as time went on, comic books just got way more expensive. Like went from 75 cents to $1 to $1.25 to $1.50 to $1.75. You know what I mean? It just
Yeah.
went up drastically. This is the 90s too. The early 90s. It was like a boom. Like it was a boom period, especially for Marvel at that time.
Yeah.
It just got super popular, man. So eventually I just got priced out of it. Uh, I would say maybe my last book I picked up when I was like 14 or 15 years old, and I
Okay.
never, yeah, never picked up comics again. And then fast forward like 30 years, right? Like just coming home from work one day, and I'm reading on my phone, and this is about 2019. Reading on my phone, and it's like Rick from The Walking Dead is going to die in the comic books or whatever, and I'm like, what? Rick from The Walking Dead is gonna die? It was like, wait a minute, there's still comic books? Like for some reason, I didn't even know comic books still existed. I don't know why, but in my mind, because it's not something that's just around, right? It's like there's
No.
no newsstands anymore. You'd have to seek a comic book out to know where to get it. You know what I mean? What's going on? It's just not out there like that. Now, at least not in my vicinity, not in my purview, let's say, my radar. So I immediately, me being like an idiot, I was like, man, that comic book is going to be worth a lot of money, I bet. Let me go check out what the hell, how I can get my hands on this thing. So I started doing research on my phone, called up this comic book shop, and this is before I knew what FOC was, right? Like I didn't know that these things were pre-ordered or whatever it was. Yeah, you got that Walking Dead, the one where Rick's gonna die? He's like, no, we don't have that. like, like almost like, what are you dumb? Like this is like everybody's buying this shit. Nobody, of course, we don't have that comic book. And I'm like, oh fuck. So I started doing research, started looking around, whatever. I found a comic book store that sold it for like $12, and I was like, $12 for a comic book? Wow, that's like so much money. I was just like, that is too much money. But I bought it because I was like, you know what? I could probably sell it for $25 on eBay or something like that when it gets hot. I wouldn't say that's the wrong mentality because we got flippers in our community, and I totally respect all of that stuff. But for the love of comics, you know what I mean? For the longevity of you being in the hobby, it's probably not the right mindset to go into a hobby. But that was my thought process. I was like, I'm gonna sell this thing, and it comes in the mail one day, and I'm like, oh yeah, I got it, cool. And I open the comic book up, and I can't describe the feeling, Chad. I can't like. It was a feeling of euphoria, of a childhood lost, of a childhood forgotten,
Hmm.
all swimming back to me in one kind of like fell swoop, one emotion, one giant like nostalgia wave, right? Like I'm looking at the art and all these feelings and all these memories of when I used to open up my Marvel comics when I was a kid, everything I used to read, the love of it. You know what I mean? It
Oh
all
yeah.
started coming back. It was like a lost memory. Like, because I told you it's 30 years. Like it was a part of like my early teens, my late, childhood. I never really thought about it. I never really went back to it. Never, I don't know. It was just like something that I buried over the years. And it
Yeah.
was like I opened up this like dimension in my mind. I don't know what it was, Chad, but I sat there and I looked at this book and I said, man, I remember all this stuff. I remember loving doing this. Like, I'm not going to sell this. In fact, let me get a subscription to get more of these comic books. So I went and I the same store that I bought the book from, they had like a pre-order kind of thing, right?
Mhm.
So I was like, let me subscribe to The Walking Dead because that, I was watching a TV show at the time. I was aware of that. I was like, okay, let me start here, kind of thing, and see where it goes. And then 3 issues later, the comic just ends. Like maybe like 2 or 3 issues after he died, the comic book ends on like a surprise. Like everybody was, you know what I mean? It wasn't like he was telling everybody it was gonna end. It just ended.
Yeah.
And I was
Yeah.
like, what the hell am I gonna do now? Like I don't know what's going on in the world of comics. I have no idea. But the funny thing is when I started looking at the pre-order list, I said, you know what? Let me go back to what I know, right? What do I know? I know X-Men, I know Spider-Man, I know Hulk, Ghost Rider, I know
Mhm.
Batman, X, Y, and Z. So funny enough, every one of those characters had a series. And in a mo and in a lot in a funny way, a lot of them were at like a number one period, right? Like a lot of them rebooted in like 2018 or 2019.
Yeah.
So there was a lot of number ones for all of these books. It was almost like a calling, right? I looked at it like something cosmic, like this is meant to be kind of thing, right? So I ordered all those comic books and it's been a wrap ever since, man.
Hey, JSS, thanks for stopping by. He says, I miss 7-Eleven spinner racks and monster cups. Yeah, I do remember the spinner racks.
Yep.
And then like when we would go on vacation or whatnot, to kind of shut me up, they'd give me a stack of comic books back when they were, a dollar or so. But that's great, man. I with so many people, we all had like certain family members that
Mhm.
kind of helped foster that. It's like once they figure out, oh, you're kind of into this, they're like, yeah, come here, let me show you.
Exactly. Yeah. Yeah, that's
Yeah.
what happened to me when I was a kid. But I don't know, man. I don't know what it was that I just once I decided I can't do this anymore because I can't afford it. That was it. It was just a chapter closed in my life until 30 years later. It's so weird. And then I think about it often is opening that comic book that day spawned all of this shit that we're doing now. Like I would not be here with you on a Saturday night hanging out talking about any of this if I never ordered that book.
Mhm. Thank you, Walking Dead. That's great, man. Yeah. I uh I had a lot of Walking Dead in the beginning. Um it's a really good series. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm collecting the deluxe edition that's out now, the one that's in color.
Hmm.
And that was like a vow of mine because the series ended when I started picking them up, and the compendiums were like super expensive, like almost $100 or more a book, a compendium.
Yeah.
So I just wasn't gonna spend that kind of money. So when the deluxe version came out, I said I am determined to get every issue of this series. And so far, so good. I've got every issue of The Walking Dead Deluxe so far.
Oh, nice. They got badass David Finch covers on them, don't they?
Oh, so good.
Yeah. Yeah. He's one of my favorites. Have you been picking up Skinbreaker?
No, no.
No.
One of my regrets because I kind of took a break last year around September, and it's now that I'm slowly getting back into it.
Yeah. Yeah. I had taken a break. Let's see here. I probably started around the same age, around 9 or 10. Probably started with the trading cards, and then I was homesick from school, and my mom and my grandma went to the grocery store, and on one of those spinner racks, they picked me off like three of them, and I still have them. They're red to tatters. But yeah, that started it. Then you had like X-Men uh, animated series at that time, Batman the animated series. So then I was just hooked for a long time, even through college, and I don't know, up until the point probably about a year or two after my daughter was born. I was like, I can't do this anymore. Like this could be going to other things, you know.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah,
and even at that point, they were, I think, like $3 a piece, right?
yeah.
But once you get that pull box and you're like, oh, this looks good, you start getting into indies, and pretty soon, you got 30 to 50 bucks a month pulled or whatever. And
Oh, you don't want to know what I was spending in the beginning in 2020. Oh my God, it's embarrassing when I think about it. Oh, but that's like I guess a lot of us who get pulled in, especially in this era of comics, it's like all the variants and all there's so many series, right? Like there's so many Marvel, DC, Image, and then just past that, there's even more stuff.
oh,
Um,
yeah.
and I'm here getting like cover A, cover B, cover C of this one series, cover A, cover D, cover B of this next series. Like I was going crazy back in 2020 with this stuff. Um, a little bit too much. Like I wish I could go back to remind myself, like, go back in time and say, listen, you don't need that cover. Trust me, you don't need that cover.
You
but
you are of the same mind as me, man. Like I was out of it from probably about 2009 to 2018.
mm,
I started volunteering as a art teacher for disabled people,
mm,
and of course, what do I like to draw? Superheroes and horror and stuff. So I bought like a Walmart, 5 pack or whatever it was, um, and those five, aren't enough. What one is too many, and a thousand is never enough.
exactly.
So from there, I started going back into the comic shop, and it was the same thing as you, man. Like Ghost Rider #1 was coming out then. The Donny Cates store was coming out. Something is killing the children had dropped recently, and like I just went hard on the stuff. Like
Hmm.
multiple, like I was getting like, if it was something I collected, like Ghost Rider, I would probably get two or three covers to each one,
Exactly. Yeah.
and now I've actually had time to read some of these, and I'm like, oh, buddy, like, wow, the cover is the draw. Like, just don't look inside to some of these. At best, they're good. At
Yeah.
best,
Right.
like, you know, I
Hmm.
won't say that like, Donny Cates the Thor before that all fell apart was fantastic.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, there's a lot of schlop in there that was $4 or $5 a piece that is just like it's sitting in a box now. I
Yep.
wish I could go back.
Yeah. We can't give them away.
No, 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 not even, I can't sell them at cover price or even half that. Just like,
It's like, oh,
uh,
you want this series from 2021 from Volt Comics? No, 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 never heard of it. No, don't know those people. I'm like, damn it.
some of the Vault ones were probably better than the Marvel I was buying.
Yeah, no, there was a lot of good series back then. I gotta say, it wasn't it. It was a time where it was like everybody was home, kind of thing, and
Yep.
comic books were just they were just pumping them out, man. They were just pumping out everything you could think of. Everything was I don't know, everything was kind of fresh. I know people hate reboots and stuff, but it I gotta say I'm a product of it, right? Like I was kind of happy that everything was at number one when I started.
I don't mind a reboot like every so often. I mean, then that's typical, just about every 10 years, whether it's X-Men or whatever, they
Mhm.
reboot it. But when you do it for every arc, like
Right.
30 issues and then number one, 20 issues and number one, it's like
Doesn't make
you
sense.
no. Well,
Yeah.
it does from a financial standpoint
Yeah, yeah, for them, for
for
sure.
them. And then they put the legacy numbering on them anyways. It's like, okay, you're not fooling us here. Or the worst is when it's the same creative team and it's just a new arc and it's a new number one. You're like, okay.
Hmm.
Yeah. So, how did you end up getting involved in YouTube?
Reluctantly.
Reluctantly?
Not something I ever wanted to do, ever thought about doing. Matter of fact, I'm one of the most camera shy people. I mean, beforehand, like at that time, that you
Mm,
probably would have ever met. Like, I don't have, I don't have a lot of childhood photos because every time somebody whipped out a camera, I was hiding somewhere to not be in the shot. I don't know what it is. I just didn't want to be on camera. I didn't want to be in pictures and stuff. So yeah, I was very reluctant. But long story short, basically, I had met a bunch of guys in the community, right? Shortly after creating an Instagram, and shortly after, finding YouTubers that were talking about comic books, right? Because around me, like none of my friends or family members are into any of the stuff that I'm into. Like I have nobody to talk to about this stuff at all.
same.
So as you do, you want to talk about it. You want to say your thoughts or see what's out there and educate yourself and stuff like that. So um, basically, I met a bunch of guys through other streams and chats and stuff like that. And I was like, hey guys, you wanna do you guys have Instagram? Yeah, yeah, we have Instagram. Okay, so create a chat, right? Put all those people in the chat, and okay, so you start meeting people, and those people you find out they have aspirations to do YouTube, right?
Mm,
There's like my good friend, my buddy, my co-host on my show, Nick Comic Culture.
mhm,
Nick wanted to do YouTube. Like that was what he wanted to do. He had aspirations to create a channel, and hopefully through growing the channel, it would sort of fund the hobby in a lot of ways, right? Which is smart, you know. If you're
mhm.
gonna talk about comic books, dedicate your time to YouTube. Why not have it pay for your hobby, right? And then basically you can do what you love and not hurt in the pockets. I get that, right?
Yeah.
Um, so Nick, a few others, they all were into doing that or trying to do that, and I was very happy just supporting them from the sidelines, right? I was just very like, oh, you're gonna make a YouTube? I'll put it on my Instagram. I'll make a story about it. I'll link this, or you know what I mean? I was just there
Mhm.
to be a supportive guy. And here and there, I would jump on a show, on somebody's show or whatever, and people would come back and tell me, "Hey, man, you should do this. You should try. You should have a channel. You should try doing YouTube." Something. No, me? No, fuck no. I don't know how to talk. I don't want to be in front of a camera. I am super shy. I don't know how to. No, thank you. I appreciate the the sentiment, but no, thank you.
Mm.
Um, but then it just kept happening, right? Like people kept saying that, keep saying that. So in my mind, I'm thinking, well, what am I gonna say that a bunch more talented, smarter, more into the hobby than me people are saying? What am I? How am I gonna differentiate myself from them? Right? I don't have the knowledge. I don't have in my mind, mind you, because people will say, "No, Fable, you're good, you're good," and I'll be like, "No, no way, I can't talk like this guy or that guy. Those guys, they got talent. They know how to talk. You know, the Comic Toms and the Robbies and all those guys, Jen Mint. You know, Those
Right.
guys know what they're doing. They know how to do that. No way I can get in that space. So I decided, all right, you know what? I'll jump on Instagram Live, right? Because back in 2019, 2020, Instagram Live was kind of popping. It was
Yeah.
kind of, it was kind of a thing. So I was like, I'll go on Instagram Live, and what I'll do is, since I buy all these books every week, I'll just show off my books, and I'll go on there and I'll have people jump on the live with me to show off our weekly hauls, kind of thing. That's what I'll do, and seems like the perfect thing for me to do, right? Being that I don't have any kind of like commentary or anything special to say about comic books, just show off what I got, kind of thing.
Hmm.
And we started doing that, and week after week, we started getting more and more views. Like it was just getting higher and higher and higher, and more people were wanting to jump on, more people were wanting to hang out, and it was kind of like Instagram wasn't big enough for what was going on, right? You can't
Hmm.
follow the chat. The chat was started going like this, chat, like it just started going doop, 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 where I couldn't read it. And I like to read the chat. I like to acknowledge the people that are tuning in. And it
Right.
just kept going too quick for me. And it fades out and you can't like look back, and you know what I mean? It's just not
Yeah.
conducive to this kind of thing that we do. Um I couldn't you could only have four people on at a time, right? So I couldn't get all the people that asked me to jump on because they want to show off their shit too. And I
Yeah.
can't get them on. So Instagram started quickly becoming a thing that I couldn't use anymore, realistically.
Mm.
But I still didn't want to do YouTube, right? I was still reluctant. I was kind of holding on. Um, but I see that Nick and a few of the other guys, like I said, they started actually gaining a lot of traction in the community, and started their channel started growing significantly. Like, you know, Nick, when he started, I don't know, maybe had a couple of hundred. Now he's got a couple of thousand, right? My boy Eric, Nine Panel Grid, same thing. Stu, and of
Yeah.
course, we all know Robbie. Robbie's when I started with Robbie, he had like 6,000 followers. He's got over 25,000 now, four
Yeah.
years later,
I think
right?
he's
So
creeping up on 30.
yeah,
Yeah.
so it was like, okay, I'm gonna have to do it. I'm gonna have to bite the bullet. But if I'm gonna bite the bullet, I gotta come up with something. It can't be just me showing off comic books. I mean, how you know what I mean?
Mm.
How boring is that? Like, I know it's not boring. I'm not saying it's boring, but for me, it's like nobody's gonna watch this show for me to show off comic books, even though they might. But that's not how I think about it, right? Like I'm thinking, because you gotta understand, I have like low self esteem, low confidence in myself. So I'm thinking I'm boring. I suck. Who's gonna watch me do this stuff? Um, but then I said, okay, I'll come up with a format. I'll come up with some sort of thing, right? Like segments and shit like that. And you know what? I'll get Nick. Nick's got a lot of followers. Nick will help bring in those eyes, right? And of course Nick was, that's my buddy, that's my pal. So he's like, yeah, I'll co-host the show with you. And we jumped on YouTube, and that was it, man. Been doing it ever since. That was maybe about 2, 3 years ago.
Okay.
That
Yeah.
was a long-winded way of saying I got on YouTube, but that's how it happened.
Yeah. Yeah. That's an interesting trajectory for it,
Yeah.
you know. I didn't I'm the same way. Like I'm more the director or the person who's snapping the pictures. There are times when like I like to be an entertainer, like telling jokes. I'm the life of the party, and then there's other times where like I don't want to be seen. Like I don't know if that makes any sense. Like
Yeah, no, I totally, man, I totally understand it. I would love to be just a producer and the guy who helps other people grow their platforms, right? I've never been about like myself kind of thing. I've always been a team player. I never think of myself as the center or the guy. You know what I mean?
hmm
Um, I pride myself in actually finding talent, which I think I've done a lot, right? Like I think I've associated with a lot of guys that are actually have become big just like I knew they would, right? Like,
Yeah.
so getting behind them at an early stage in their comic book YouTubing and all that, I'm extremely proud of that.
Hey, you should be, man, for sure. You're like a glue in this community. Everyone, you mention your name and nothing but high praises, and it's because of the connection like that, you know.
Yeah, yeah. I
And I'm
didn't.
not.
It's coincidence, man. How I met so many people that were aspiring to, be somebody or do something in this community, and it's like they all became great. They all became great, and it's just like, wow, I can't believe the again. Like I said, with all the comic books being number one, how it was a sign. This was like another sign, right? Like
Mm,
how I just happen to know Nick, how I just happen to know Robbie and Justin know good comics and John's comics with friends and all these guys are my buddies, man. But I remember when they just started, you know.
that's awesome, man. I've made so many friends through this. I'm in the same boat as you. Like in my day-to-day life, I don't really have anyone to talk to about any of this. Probably just find me annoying. Uh, Here's Chad going off about like dinosaurs again or something. That's not my thing, right? But like the equivalent of it or model trains or something. I don't know. Um, but I think yeah, JSS said it was his uncle for him. For me, it was my uncle as well. He got me into horror movies and comics and
Mm-hmm.
all that stuff. Um, But back to what you were saying, I mean, I'm not throwing myself into greatness here whatsoever. I suffer from that kind of imposter syndrome kind of
Yep.
thing. You know, for the longest time, people were telling me, "Yeah, I should. You're very knowledgeable about things. You
Mm-hmm.
should." But I'm like, again, what do I know or what can I say that's better than Robbie or
Right.
any of the larger guys?
Yeah.
Um, but I think the thing with YouTube is it's more about the persona than the actual content.
Yeah.
Um, and if you can find your persona, your groove, and find a good community of people like you and the people you came up with, and continue to bring in. You brought me into Instagram, the Ghoul Division. Shout out
Yeah.
Ghoul Division. Um, Helped me. I've been on your channel quite a few
Yeah.
times, and others with Robbie, and I mean it's been fantastic, man. Like
Yeah.
I look forward to it.
Yeah. That's where I get my joy out of this community is seeing people who are passionate about the hobby, um, giving them a voice. If I could, there was a way that I can elevate them so that they can go on to express their passions, right, in a way that I know they can. And then to see them do it is amazing. I love it. I love that kind of stuff. Um, like I said, I see my boys Nick, Stu, and Eric. They got the Ink and Insights, and they put on a banging show, and they're very knowledgeable. And I just love that I was there right at the beginning, and that somehow I played a part in some of that happening, even though I didn't create it and I didn't do anything. But like you said, I brought those guys together in a way, right?
Yeah,
And through those interactions, their thing was born, and I can't be any more prouder of those guys. They're absolutely killing it.
yeah, yeah. That's awesome. Um, so I'm excited. You're bringing back the Blame Fable show.
Yes, sir.
Yeah,
May 1st, 9 p.m. Eastern. Uh, Took a bit of a break. I was actually contemplating not coming back. Right, I wanted to kind of wanted to go back to the way it used to be, where I was just like on Instagram sharing shit and meeting people and doing that kind of thing.
yeah,
Um, because I don't know, somewhere along the line, you kind of see that for some people, this is all about views and likes and you know what I mean. It gets a little. gets a little crazy behind the scenes sometimes in this community, as you might know yourself, Chad.
Yeah.
And it was kind of a turnoff, right? Kind of like, not worth it. It's not worth it, right? Like I don't wanna ruffle any feathers. I don't wanna feel like people hate me for whatever reason. Oh, I hate that guy fucking Fable for no reason, right? Like maybe some other guy doesn't like me, so now his friends don't like me, and just weird shit that I just was not into. And it was kind of a turnoff, but you know, I got a lot of good friends too. I got a lot of people that support me. I got a lot of people that believe in me,
Mm.
that feel like, nah, screw that, man. You do it. Do it. And there is a part of me that feels like I'm letting them down, right? And that's like a driving force. Besides me just having fun with everybody, right? Like, 'cause that's what I love doing, just having fun with guys and
Yeah.
talking about all this shit. But another part of me is like, no, I put in a lot of work. I've done a lot, and people are looking to me to keep going, to because you never know who you're inspiring, right? Because
Sure.
when you don't have that kind of, when you don't have an ego like that, you don't think that way. You don't think, oh yeah, this guy's, I'm inspiring this guy. But people will reach out to you on the side and be like, dude, when is your show coming back? Dude, when are you coming back? I want to jump on when you come back. And it's like, oh, you guys are paying attention. You guys are watching. Oh, I guess I do have some viewers out there.
Oh
You
yeah,
know what
you're
I mean?
missed.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and it's humbling, and it's like, well, I don't want to let these guys down. Shoot, maybe I was their escape on a Friday night. Maybe I was the place they went to because they didn't have anybody to talk to, much like I didn't have anybody to talk to, right? So it's like
Yeah.
it's one of those kind of situations. So yeah, man, we're back. I decided it's time, and I just wanted to I wanted to bring new faces in. Let's do, let's try new things, but more than anything, just to get back to hanging out with the community.
Yeah. Yeah. That's great, man. I'm looking forward to it. So I think the New Year's Eve one was the only one I've got to see live. I caught a couple of reruns, but
So where we got drunk, that one.
oh yeah, holy crap! Wow, Brother Joe was a trip. Whoa, buddy.
Oh, I love Brother Joe so much.
Yeah, he's always up for karaoke, right?
Yeah, always, always. Well, that Brother Joe is funny how Brother Joe came into my circle. His brother, who you may be familiar with, Bobby Delgado,
Okay.
great community member,
Yeah.
big artist. Just a fantastic collection. Has great history with comic books. Much more than you know, I I go to Bobby. I'm under his learning tree. He might not know that, but I
Mhm.
look up to Bobby, right? So Bobby was one of the first people I met when I came into his community, and of course, he was one of the first people I pulled into this little circle that I was creating or whatever of guys. And he would come to me and he said, "My brother wants to join the team. My brother wants to join the team." I said, "Okay, so put your brother." He's like, "My brother wants to." He kept telling me this like every other week. So then I was like, all right, whatever, like that's fine. So finally we let Brother Joe in, and Brother Joe's a trip, man. If you know Brother Joe, Brother Joe is,
Yeah.
he is a fucking trip. He is a sweetheart though. Like one of the kindest individuals, one of the most loyal, beautiful hearts that I've ever met in my entire life. And he's kind of become like, he calls me his big brother, even though he's like 15 years older than me. He's like, hey, well, you my big brother. I know I'm older than you, but you my big brother. And uh he used to always like quote sing in chats. Like he used to write down the lyrics and be
Mm-hmm.
like, that's the Beatles, and or that's Rolling Stones, or that's Sly Stone and the whatever. And I'm like, always doing his musical quotes, right? So I'm like, when I was doing the show, I was like, you know what? You should sing for us. You should sing. You should come in and sing. He was like, really, really? And
Oh,
he started singing. He sang in one of our shows. And when we took a break out. When we came back, I said, "You want to do that every show?" And he was like, "Hell yeah!" And that's how we got Brother Joe. Now I can't get rid of the guy.
yeah. You're stuck for life, man.
Stuck for life, man.
That's good though. He cracks me up in the chat.
Yeah, Brother
Oh
Joe.
yeah.
He's an original for sure. One of a
Yep.
kind.
I didn't know that was Bobby's brother.
Yeah, they're brothers.
Okay. Yeah, Bobby's great too.
Yeah, Bobby's awesome.
Yeah. A lot of great community members. I'm not gonna say it's drama free, like you say.
Hmm.
The more I know, I feel like I should have that PSA thing, the public service announcement. The more you know. Sometimes you don't want to know,
Right. Yeah.
and sometimes people will use you for things,
Yeah.
whether it's for work or access to other people or
Hmm.
whatever. Um, So I just try to, like you, I try to focus on the good individuals that, want to promote others and have a good time and, keep it
Yeah.
positive and screw the drama, man.
Yeah.
Like we're adults here. Or at least
Hmm.
we should act like it. I realize, high school never ends, they say, but like grow up, please. You know?
Unfortunately it's a facet of every corner of every thing, right?
Yeah.
Like you can get into horror movies and you'll find a video where one horror movie YouTuber is beefing with another horror movie YouTuber, or some toy YouTubers beefing with another toy YouTuber. It's just a part of you figure out quickly it's just a thing for some reason. Um, you know, and sometimes I mean, you can be nice as hell. You can be so far away from it and somehow still get pulled into something.
Oh yeah.
You just gotta learn how to. If you're gonna do this, you're just gonna have to learn to roll with the punches. You know.
Exactly. I made the stance that I wasn't going to back down.
Mm.
Like if somebody's gonna come at me, I mean, don't like I don't like drama, right? But I'm not going to just accept it either, you
Oh
know.
yeah. Hey, Aaron.
Oh, okay. Hey, Aaron. Yeah, I'm out and about. Want to say hi to you guys. Thanks for stopping by, Aaron. Appreciate it. Another great member of the community.
Mhm.
Yeah. So then, did you have any ideas for the new format?
No, it's the same show. It's
Same
the
show?
same show. Yeah. I'm just gonna because it's always when I started, I helped create a group called the PCP Army Bad Batch, right?
Hmm.
And and a lot of those guys either went off and did their own thing, or they just left the community completely for their own reasons, whether it's real life reasons, right? They couldn't really do the online thing as much as they used to, or just disenchantment, or maybe they just not into the hobby anymore. You know what I mean? But either way, everybody's off kind of doing their own thing, and I still know all of these guys, right? They're still all my great friends,
Hmm.
but I kind of wanted to do the same thing, but just like see if I can get some new faces in there. Like Nick and Stu and Brother Joe, they'll always be the core of the
Right.
show, right? But I wanna see, you know, a Matt Heroes for Hire comics, right? Like I want him to be on a little more often. I'll probably reach out to you, Chad, in the near future here
Yeah.
to be on a few episodes, and you know what I mean. Just create a larger pool of the people that I've met recently,
Yeah.
and see how it works, see how that goes. You know what I mean? But it's the same stuff, man. We're just talking news and showing stuff off.
That's cool. And I think you're overlooking probably a big part of why yours is a success hangout show is because of the lack of drama. You're such a positive person, right? And just hanging out and having a good time, showing what you love, what you're passionate about.
Yeah, yeah, because we're not like I'm not above bagging on something, right? Like
Yeah.
I'm not above like I hate those fucking guys, whatever. I hate that comic book or I hate that artist or whatever. I'm not above it, but I'm the type of person that if I don't like something, that's really what I'm going to say, and that's it. I'm gonna leave it at that. I'm not gonna be like, oh, this guy's so fucking stupid. This is so fucking trash. You know what I mean? I was like, I read it. Nah, not for me. But another guy will come on and be like, that's trash. I'm like, hey, and we'll just have fun from it, right? Like it's not that serious.
Oh
Whereas,
yeah.
you know how it is. Some people are like DC, Marvel, DC, Marvel, Image, Indie, and it'll become this thing. I try to stay away from it. I try to make it fun. If we're gonna go in that direction, let's have some fun with it.
Oh yeah. Yeah. You get the beefing of what's better, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, like my boy Bruce. My boy Bruce is always taking shots at Marvel. Always take every chance he gets.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, he makes me laugh, man. You know, it doesn't piss me off at all. I just laugh because he makes me laugh with the shit he says.
Well, I think I got him. He held up a sign that said like DC is better than Marvel. I wrote in the chat for now. And then he's like showing off his haul and he had like a bunch of Punisher books and I'm like, that's not DC, Bruce. That's not
Exactly.
DC. What is this? Like,
Exactly. We like to have fun with that kind of stuff.
oh yeah.
But yeah, we always try to keep it on a positive slant. You know, one man's trash is another man's treasure, and I always got to remember that. No matter how stinky I might think something is, right? It might be another guy's whole identity, man. He might be like collecting the posters, collecting the, you know what I mean, the
Yeah.
memorabilia, and gotta respect it, man. It's all part of the hobby. It's all bringing money into the hobby, and it's continuing the hobby to grow. And I encourage all of it.
Yeah, and taste is subjective,
Yeah.
right?
Mm-hmm.
Um I'm not going to like I don't know, I'll say what I like, what I don't like about something. Like I'll critique it, but I also know that like an artist worked on that, an author worked on that, a team of people. So I'm
Exactly.
not trying to like deliberately make it out to be complete and utter trash, or
Right.
humiliate those people. Like they spent time on it, even if I thought it was like derivative dribble,
Mm-hmm.
like it might be fucking fantastic to somebody else. I
Exactly.
don't know.
Exactly. Yeah. And everybody starts somewhere, right? It's another thing. Like everybody, it might just be the shits, but they'll get better. You know, we gotta encourage them to keep going. We gotta keep this hobby growing, man. Um,
Yeah.
as much as we can. I really feel that way, and it has. Because I remember when I first started, um, one of the major things that was going around in the talks or whatever is that how the hobby's dying, how
Mm.
comics are dying, how manga is destroying comic books, how this and that and this and that. And then you'll see Comic Con, New York Comic Con, and you'll see a line around the block wrapped around like 3 times. And these people are spending $10,000 on slabs and $500 on signatures. And it's like something like that cannot be done. There's just no way.
No, that's somebody's perspective, and they
Yeah.
didn't really have the numbers to prove most of the sales to begin with.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and again, they were basing a lot of it off like, oh, it's dying compared to the spec hype of COVID. Well, I'm sorry, yeah, I lived through the '90s and that was crazy, but we didn't have books that went up like 3,000% in 3 months. Like
Right.
I've never seen anything like that,
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah. No, the fandom, the people out there. They're still out there. There's a lot of young uh fans coming in, a lot of 20 somethings year olds coming in, and I love to see it. I love to see it.
Yeah. I give away a lot of comic books. I mean, to everyone I know, every little kid, pretty much, I give them, a Spider-Man comic or whatnot. But one of the biggest joys of being a vendor, like at a Comic Con and stuff, is exactly that. Seeing these younger people like in their 20s and they're getting excited about comic books from our age, right? Or a
Yeah,
retro video game.
I
Like
know. Yes.
like that game is older than this person, you know what I
Right.
mean? But they're
Mm-hmm.
just as hyped as I was to play it.
Right.
So, and the joy of like knowing what the hunt is and then to be able to facilitate help with that, like
Mm-hmm.
it gives me joy as well.
Yeah. Yeah. No, absolutely. And that's part of the reason you try to be as positive as possible. You don't want to come off as a gatekeeper or as a elitist or like you know what I mean. We all start somewhere. We all start somewhere, and some of our first comics aren't the best comics in the world right
No,
now.
no. What was that like NFL super
Super Pro.
super action or whatever? I
Yeah.
remember that was one of my first ones. That's not a banger.
Don't tell Greg that. Don't tell Greg the bearded comic brother. He loves
Oh,
Super
okay.
Pro.
Got a
Oh
great cover.
yeah, no. But everybody starts somewhere, and you're always gonna have a soft spot in your heart for those things, regardless. You know what I mean, I love a lot of things that aren't the best, but it is what it is, right?
Yeah. But it opened that nostalgic wormhole in your
Mm-hmm.
head and got you going.
Yeah.
Yeah. Gotta love it. Gotta love it. Uh, so what do you we'll probably wrap up here pretty quick.
Mm-hmm.
I know we mentioned Blame Fable show is coming back.
Yeah.
Is it May 1st?
May 1st, 9 p.m. Eastern on my channel. One collection down.
All right. Anything else you got coming up?
Um, I mean, I'm part of the PCP Excitable crew, so that's Rock and Robbie, Pop Culture Philosophers. I'm part of his little team or whatever it is he has going on over there. So anytime he does movie reviews or just needs extra bodies for whatever show he's doing, he'll hit me up. So you'll probably see me over there
Hmm.
a lot of times, especially for his movie reviews. Um, he uh, I've actually collaborated with him on movie review things. Like he does a thing called Horror Fest and
Hmm.
Action Fest and March Madness and things like that. So I started doing movie reviews in conjunction with his movie festivals on my channel.
Yep.
So we'll rotate stuff like that. So yeah, uh, doing that stuff. So look out for Action Fest this summer. I'll be joining that with him. Um, I've been hanging out with Matt, Heroes for Hire Comics. Um, he does a lot of he does a lot of everything. Matt does everything. Matt he does FOC, he does hangout shows, he does movie review shows. Matt does it all. Um, but lately I've been jumping on a lot of his movie review stuff.
Hmm.
So doing a lot of movie review stuff.
Yeah.
So yeah, you catch me doing that on Pop Culture Philosophers, Heroes for Hire, and my own channel. Um, and as far as that, yeah, as far as the movie review stuff in my show, that's really about it. It's really all the time I have, to be honest with you, to dedicate to that kind of stuff.
Hmm.
Um, I wish I can do more. Maybe when I retire finally one day, and I ain't got nothing better to do, I'll create this network and I'll have like a show every other day or something. But as far as for what time allows, yeah, that's really what I've been doing.
Okay. Awesome. And I think I pinned in the description your link to your YouTube channel as well as your Instagram. I urge everyone to check it out if you haven't already. As far as myself, I'll be doing another Metal Musings on Monday. 7 p.m. Eastern with Hero Bishop Show.
Mm,
Um, I did one of my first interviews over on his channel, so he will be coming over to do kind of part two. Um, and then, yeah, you can find me on Matt's channel. Been doing movie reviews with him when I'm available. I have a lot of fun doing that. And then, let's see here. At the end of the month, the last Friday, I don't know what the date is specifically, but 8:30 p.m. Eastern on Toy Quest 101, Collectors Assemble Live in honor of Autism Awareness Month.
mhm.
We will be doing the big giveaway. It's $100 gift card to Collector Zone, where StatueCon is going on, and
Nice.
we'll be talking about that, I'm sure. Um, it's a cool show. Another great group of guys. I think you've tuned in
Yeah,
before.
I
Yeah,
have.
yeah.
Hmm.
Talk about statues and movies and everything pop culture, really. Um, and yeah, you can find me on the usuals, Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, and here on YouTube. Um, but I would like to say thank you to my guest, Fable.
So yeah,
I really appreciate you stopping by, man. Hopefully we can do it again. I'm looking forward to coming on Blame Fable.
yeah,
And
yeah. Can't wait, man. Can't wait. I'm so excited. I think I haven't been this excited in a long time to come back and do a show and I don't know, just have fun, right? Like,
yeah,
yeah, it's been a while since I've had fun. I mean, not I've had fun. I'm having fun with all of you guys on your channels and doing all that, but on my own, doing my own thing. You know what I mean?
right,
Um,
right.
and, and being the lead or whatever it is. Looking forward to that.
That's good news, man. Good news. I'm here for it, and so is the rest of the YouTube community. But I think with that, we'll close out. I just want to thank everyone. If you can subscribe to Fable and myself on the platforms, appreciate it. Dropping a comment, a like, whether you're watching live or on the replay. I appreciate it. So keep it metal.
Station.
Station.